One guy, no employees, an $80 million exit, 29.8 million American businesses have zero employees. Together, they generate $1.7 trillion a year. That's US census data, not a projection. Here's the part that changes everything. On Carter, where actual venture-backed startups filed their paperwork, solo founders made up just 23.7% of new companies in 2019. By mid-2025, 36.3%. And this one might sting if you still believe you need co-founders to win. 52.3% of successful startup exits, acquisitions, IPOs were solo founded, more than half. Meanwhile, OpenAI's Sam Altman has a running bet going with his tech CEO friends. Not about whether a one-person billion-dollar company shows up, about which year. He's called it something that used to sound impossible. Now, in his words, it's just happening. Anthropic's Dario Amodei thinks it could land even sooner, maybe this year. So here's my question for the next 13 minutes. What if your next competitor isn't a 50-person startup? What if it's one person and 40 AI agents? Let's open the hood and show you exactly how that machine runs. A traditional company has departments. A one-person AI-powered company has layers. Same jobs, no headcount. Layer 1, product development. In Tel Aviv, a founder named Maor Shlomo built an entire AI coding platform, solo, while backpacking through Southeast Asia. Stick around, his story gets wild. Layer 2, customer support. In Sweden, Anik Devon runs an AI commerce platform called Caro. His support lead is named Milla. Milla is AI, and Caro doesn't hide that from customers. Here's the contrarian bit. Devon says most founders treat running solo as a phase to survive until they can afford real hires. He built Caro this way on purpose. Not as a stopgap, as the strategy. Layer 3, content creation. Blog posts, ad copy, even scripts like this one, drafted by AI, shaped by a human editor. Layer 4, financial modeling. Burn rate, pricing tests, revenue forecasts, recalculated overnight while the founder sleeps. 4 departments, running in parallel, before he's even had coffee. Layer 5, competitive and regulatory research. Dion Johnson runs a company protecting the likeness rights of more than 15,000 actors, models, and creators. AI compares regulations across states, drafts strategy, synthesizes legal research. A decade ago, that was a full analyst team. Layer 6, design. Caro has no in-house designers, none. AI handles that visual layer too. Layer 7, operations. Mark Gilliland runs a consumer brand, Kyoto Botanicals, sourcing, e-commerce, wholesale, customer relations, by himself. AI spots the gaps in his email platform and builds the automations. No agency required. Layer 8, sales and marketing. Gilliland taught himself SEO through AI experimentation in about 3 months. He now outcompetes brands many times his size on visibility alone. 8 departments, 1 payroll. And here's the number that should really stop you. Research puts the modern solo founder's entire tech stack at $3,000 to $12,000 a year. That's the price of a few software subscriptions, not a hiring plan. Compare that to a real 8-person team. Salaries alone would run 6, sometimes 7 figures. That's a 95 to 98% cost reduction. Not a discount. A different category of business. Back to Maor Shlomo. Before Base 44, he'd already built one company, Explorium. Raised over $100 million. Real team. Real investors. Then he left. Spent a year in Israel's military reserves. When he came back, he didn't raise money. He didn't hire anyone. He opened his laptop. February 2025. Traveling through the Philippines and Thailand, he built the first version of Boss 44, AI that lets anyone build software just by describing what they want. He was so alone running it that he set an alarm every 2 to 3 hours, all night, just to check his servers hadn't crashed. 1 month after launch, Base 44 was generating close to $1.5 million a month in subscriptions, $20 to $200 a user. By the time of the sale, more than 10,000 companies were using it, over 1,300 of them paying customers. By June, Wix's CEO had personally met with him 3 times, even as the region was in the middle of a war with Iran that same month. Then Wix acquired Base 44, $80 million, cash. Shlomo split $25 million of that with his small team, even though he owned 100% of the company. Here's the twist most people miss. Wix's own financial filings later revealed Shlomo could collect another $90 million if Boss 44 hits its revenue targets through 2029. The original $80 million wasn't the ceiling. It was the floor. Meet Dana Snyder, founder of Positive Equation. No coding background. None. Using Replet's AI tools, she spent 6 months building a full software platform for nonprofits, one that walks organizations through building their own fundraising programs. Strategy, donor communication, even program names, all generated step by step. Her target market, the roughly 93% of US nonprofits too small to ever afford a human consultant. Today, she's still the company's only full-time employee. She manages most of her clients directly through the platform. But here's the honest part. Most highlight reels leave out. AI isn't automatically cheaper. Priscilla Spezza-Miglio, who runs a personalized song platform, tried making her own marketing videos with AI. It took so many attempts to get one usable clip that it ended up costing more than just hiring a freelancer. Her own takeaway: the real cost was never the subscription. It was her time. So the lesson isn't AI replaces everything. It's AI replaces the parts you can clearly define and clearly judge. Which brings us to the one thing every founder in this video agrees AI still can't do. Dion Johnson built a company protecting the likeness rights of over 15,000 creators. AI does his research, his regulatory comparisons, his first drafts. But when I say AI runs his company, that's not the whole truth. Here's what he says matters most now: building trust with agencies, sitting across the table from partners, making calls when there's no clearly right answer. AI can't do those things for him. Full stop. Even Mao Shlomo, the guy who sold for $80 million, admits it. Building Base 44 alone, he said, yes, he felt lonely. When something broke at 3 a.m., there was no one to share the weight with. That's not a productivity problem. AI can't fix loneliness. It can't build trust. It can't read a room. Here's the pattern across every single case study in this video, not just one founder's opinion. AI handles anything you can clearly define and clearly judge. It struggles the moment success depends on taste or trust or a decision with no textbook answer. AI didn't lower the bar for expertise. It lowered the labor it takes to act on it. That's not a limitation to wait out. That's the actual job description of a founder now. 10 years ago, being a founder meant doing the work, then hiring people to do it instead of you. That model isn't dead, but it's not the starting point anymore either. Companies now reach real revenue, real customers, real scale before they ever build a conventional org chart. The org chart doesn't disappear, it just arrives later. And it looks completely different when it does. Today, the job starts as an orchestrator. You're not writing every line of code, every support reply, every ad. You're directing 20, 30, 40 AI agents who do. your only real value add left? Knowing which output is good enough to ship and which one quietly embarrasses your brand. Specialists build features. Founders who can judge good work. Build companies. Not fewer humans in the loop. One very different human doing a very different job. If you are building something right now, solo or close to it, here's my honest advice. Don't wait until you need a team to start thinking like an orchestrator. Start now. This is exactly what I work through with founders. Which parts of your business to hand to AI and which parts still need you in the room? If that's useful, book a free call. The link's right below this video. And if it's not for you right now, that's genuinely fine too. Just come back when it is. See you in the next one.